Ladies and gentlemen, the Nintendo Switch 2 has almost been out for 4 months, or going on 4 months, whatever. And when you're, deep into it and you look around, you're like, man, is there even any games out for the Switch 2? And if there are some games out, are they even good? But when you take a step back and look, there are some incredible games out. So in this video, we're going to go over the top 20 rated games on Metacritic for the Switch 2 so far. Let's go and get right into this video. So to determine a game good or not, kind of subjective, you know what I mean? So going off Metacritic, while not everybody will agree with the list, I do think it's a pretty fair way to determine the top 20 Switch 2 games so far. So that's what we're gonna do, buddy. Before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep our amazing communities growing. And let's just go ahead and get right into it. So we're gonna start from the bottom and work our way up. At number 20, we have Star Wars Outlaws Gold Edition. Now, I'll be honest, I have not played this game or even really care about this game. And when the game was coming out or leading up to release, things were not looking so good. But Ubisoft really did some amazing work here, and I think that should really be pointed out. It is arguably one of the best looking and running games on the Switch 2 so far. And sometimes when I see some screenshots of this game, it's like, really? Like, that's on the Switch 2? And this is currently sitting at an 82 on Metacritic. At number 19, we have Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. This is another game I have not played yet, but I know there's like diehard fans and this is a really popular franchise. And what's cool is if you own the Switch 2 version of this game, even if you put the Switch 2 cartridge in the Switch, it'll still play somehow. I don't really know how it works, but I do know that's pretty cool. And this game currently has an 82 on Metacritic as well. At number 18, we have Hogwarts Legacy, and this is a game I have played, and I have also beat, and I loved every single second of it. Yes, I'm a diehard Harry Potter fan. I grew up with the franchise, and I really enjoy it. I've watched the movies, read the books, and played all the games, and I even liked the Quidditch game back on GameCube, so I don't know if I have a good taste in video games, or I'm just cooler than you, but this currently has an 82 on Metacritic as well. Honestly, I'd probably put this a couple points higher. At number 17, we have Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. This game came out fairly recently. Again, I have not played this game, but one thing I like to do is talk to my subscribers about games I have not played to try to get a feel of them. And a lot of you guys who have played this game highly recommend it, and it does look like a very fun, charming game. Something you can kind of just zone out in and play, but still get a sense of accomplishment, and this currently has an 83. At number 16, we have Kirby and the Forgotten Land Switch 2 Edition. Now with the Switch 2 versions of Switch 1 games, they've been kind of hit or miss, and Mario Party Jamboree, that was a scam. Let's just call a spade here. So I was cautious about Kirby and the Forgotten Land Switch 2 Edition, which I think is called like Star-Crossed World or something. But they did a phenomenal job on this game, and if you've never played Kirby and the Forgotten Land at all, I would say just skip it and play the Switch 2 Edition. You're getting just the premium version of this game. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is the sole reason I became a Kirby fan and went back and played the old games, and this currently has an 83 on Metacritic. At number 15, we have Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster. So I never played this on the 3DS, and I never played the second game, I believe, on the Switch. And when they first showed this game off, I thought, okay, that's cool, but I'm gonna skip that, I don't really care. But I was talking to some people, I think it might have been Nintendo Prime and Thunderstash Gaming on the Nintendo Prime podcast, and they were just saying like it's a phenomenal game. If you like JRPGs or RPGs, it's a must play. And then it's only $40, so I said, you know what, I'll take a chance on it. And it is absolutely incredible. Just a phenomenal JRPG with amazing music and gameplay and storybook graphics. This currently has an 84 on Metacritic. At number 14, we have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4. Now, you guys know I've been skateboarding my entire life and have played every single skateboarding game, and I'm actually having pretty fun playing the new skate game. But Tony Hawk is peak skateboarding. And what's really cool about this game is the Tony Hawk team reached out to me to review the game and also gave me a copy to give away to my subscribers. So that was just an awesome experience being a lifelong fan of skateboarding. This currently has an 85 on Metacritic. I think the game does a lot right. There's a couple things I wish it did more. I think an 85 is probably fair, maybe even an 84 or 83, but sure, 85 is fine. At number 13, we have Cyberpunk 2077. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I beat the game and the DLC on my PS5, and now on my Switch 2 I've basically finished the base game and I'm playing through the DLC. It is my favorite way I've played the game so far. it has made me like love the game more for some reason. And the fact that I can play this game handheld, portably, whenever the hell I want, wherever the hell I want, it's just a crazy feeling. They have this as an 85 on Metacritic. I would probably have it closer to an 87, but that's just probably me being biased. At number 12, we have Yakuza 0's Director's Cut. I have not played this game yet, but I do know a lot of people enjoy it. Yakuza Kiwami on the Switch was my first Yakuza game. It's really fun. They're kind of wacky and out there, but serious at the same time. I think it was just a great game. It's really cool we got this, and then we're getting a remaster of Yakuza Kiwami 1 and 2, and they just announced Yakuza Kiwami 3. So much stuff going on. And all this is on the Switch 2, or going to be on the Switch 2. So that's pretty cool. This has an 85 currently, and that's probably fair. At number 11, we have Deltarune. So this is a spin-off of Undertale. I played Undertale, but probably for only like 6 or 7 hours. I thought it was cool, but I did get distracted with something else and never went back and played it, and now I just don't care at all. But the fact that you can get like the first 4 chapters of this, which are basically their own games, I think, for $20, that's got to count for something. I can't say if this is good or bad. So yeah, it's got an 86 on Metacritic. Sure, why not? Now number 10 is Mario Kart World. And that should surprise you, right? Every Nintendo console launches with a Mario or Zelda game. For the Switch 2, we were like, is it going to be a 3D Mario game or a Mario Kart, right? Both of those make sense. And now we know it's Mario Kart World. But Mario Kart World is a good game, and I'm not going to say it's a bad game. But it's something I just don't care about and I never think about playing, and that is crazy. So much that I've actually been thinking about buying another copy of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe recently and just playing that. This currently has an 86 on Metacritic, and I think that's just unfortunate. I think there's a lot of stuff Nintendo could have did with this game and just didn't. So hopefully they fix a lot of that in the future. But yeah, man, an 86, that's kind of low for like the staple of the Switch 2. At number 9, we have Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. At least I think that's how you say it. I just seen Happy Console Gamer say it that way, so I'm going to say it the same way. This was a GameCube game, I believe, and now it's getting a full-on remake. I think they also did a PSP version at some point. If you like tactical games or strategy RPG games, this is a must-play. I like Final Fantasy and pretty much everything they put out, and people are saying this is one of the best Final Fantasy games of all time. So I cannot wait to play this one. They did a lot of work on it, like a lot of voice acting and quality of life stuff. This game is technically not out yet, but all the review copies are out and it's reviewing really well. This currently has an 87 on Metacritic. At number 8, we have Street Fighter 6. This is crazy that this game is running on the Switch 2. And not only on the Switch 2, but the quality of it. And you could push back against that and be like, well, the PS5 and the Xbox and maybe on PC, I don't even know. But the Switch 2 version of this game is so good that it is tournament approved. And that has to be like a certain standard or a certain quality because, tournaments they take serious and there's like pro gaming and stuff. And the fact the Switch 2 version is tournament approved, that's saying something, man. This currently has an 87 on Metacritic. At number 7, we have Split Fiction. I can't remember if this game came out this year or the tail end of last year. I feel like it was this year though. It's a phenomenal game. It's multiplayer only, so if you only like playing games single player, you're probably gonna have to skip this one. I'm happy it's on the Switch 2 and the quality looks great, but it's $50 and I don't think there's a true physical or even like a game key card. I think it's a download code only, so that really does suck. But the Switch 2 version does have an 89 on Metacritic, and that is awesome. At number 6, we have Trails in the Sky First Chapter. So this is a remake of the first entry of the Trails series. Again, I have not played this one, but I do want to play this one. Everybody's like hyping this one up, and they're saying it's just a phenomenal series to get into. This game has been selling incredibly well on Nintendo platforms because it's been like top 2 or 3, I believe, on the eShop charts, which is crazy when you think about all the games we currently have. This game is currently sitting at a 90 on Metacritic. That is insane. At number 5, we have Donkey Kong Bananza. And it's like, where do you even start with this game? In my opinion, this is a true spiritual successor to Mario Odyssey. It is. Easily one of the best 3D platformers I've ever played. I think it is a top 5 or 6 Nintendo game of all time. But all that being said, I do think the DLC is a scam. I'm not buying the DLC. I don't care about the DLC. It should have been free to play or $5 at the most. But I won't let that diminish my opinion of the base game. It's incredible. And this game currently has a 91 on Metacritic, and that is rightly earned. At number 4, we have Hollow Knight Silksong. So I've played this game. I think it's a 10 out of 10, a masterpiece. It's incredible. But recently I deleted Hollow Knight Silksong. And it's not because I think the game is bad, but it is so damn difficult, and it's just not what I'm looking for in a game right now. And instead of frustrating myself over and over, I thought, why don't I just come back to this another time and play something that I'm actually enjoying? So yeah, that's just a little bit about me and my skills at gaming. This game currently has a 91 on Metacritic, and again, that is a very fair score. At number 3, we have Hades 2, and the game has been reviewing insanely well, but it's also been in early access for the better part of a year, I believe, and people are absolutely loving it. I don't think I'm going to pick it up right away. I think I'm going to wait for the physical in November and just have a bunch of other stuff I'm playing right now. But this game currently has a 93 on Metacritic and has a shot at Game of the Year easily. And number 2 is Breath of the Wild Switch 2 Edition, and number 1, Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 Edition. Big shocker there, right? Both of these games currently have a 95, and if you haven't played them, you might think that's crazy, because there's not really anything extra added to the games, right? It's just upscaled and just running better. But if you're like me and you beat both of these games on the Switch and then played them on the Switch 2, it is a night and day difference. They feel like they were initially made for the Switch 2, and it's what Nintendo wanted them to be. Like, that's their vision for these games. Especially Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's a top 10 game of all time, and it's not even one of my favorite Zeldas ever, but it's arguably one of the top 10 games ever released. That Switch 2 version is something special, man. So I think both of these games rightly earn these spots. I think I would even have Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 Edition like a 96, possibly 97. Yeah, those are the top 20 rated Switch 2 games so far. Kind of crazy when you take a step back and look at, like, that's what we have on the Switch 2, and there's other great games as well. These are just the top 20 rated. That's something. So in the comments below, I would love to hear from you. Let me know if you played any of these games or played all these games. What would you rate some of these games? Just start a conversation. And if you made it all the way to this part of the video, if you could do me a favor, hit a like and subscribe. Follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep our amazing communities growing. And you guys know me, I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.